Greetings, everybody. How are you today? Welcome to another Q&A meeting. If you have any question, please let me know. Send in your question one at a time. Please be precise and brief. Please let me know also if you can hear me okay. And if this is your first time to join the meeting, please let me know where you come from. I shall begin reading your questions and comments. Tony Yip, Sadhu. Nabiti Namaskara Ajahn. Kenneth Tan Kibok, greeting Ajahn. May you be well and happy. Kitisak Udom, Sadhu, Sadhu. Adeline Chin, Sadhu, Sadhu. Metalo, Sadhu. Ya Chanicha, Sadhu. Chu Chin. Good afternoon and my respect to Tan Ajahn. Nice to see you again. I am from Malaysia. Thank you. Terence T.H. Lee, hi Tan Ajahn. Greetings from Singapore. Thanks for your time in teaching the Dhamma. You're welcome. Chonburi MTR, Sadhu. Adeline Chin, greetings Tan Ajahn. Greetings to you. Vivian Nguyen, hi Tan Ajahn. I hope you're doing well today. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Punami Tan, hi Pante. Good day. I have a question. Whatever problems I am facing now, due to past karma, thanks. No, due to your cravings, your desire. That's the cause of your problem, not your past karma. When you desire, when you want something and you cannot get them, then you become unhappy. So the thing that you want can become a problem to you. So if you can stop your desire, your wanting, your cravings, then there will be no problem. The problem arises from your three types of wanting or cravings, namely craving for sensual pleasures, craving for being, and craving for not being. These are the three causes of dukkha or problems. Sini Jira, Sadhu. Savante, Sadhu. Celeste Law, good morning Ajahn. Good morning to you. Sunny Lim, good day Ajahn Suchart. Thanks so much for teaching us the Dhamma. Sadhu, Sadhu. Jack Ling Tan, Sadhu. Thank you Ajahn for your teaching. I'm sorry I skipped. Yeah. Happy to see you dear Tan Ajahn from Jack Ling Tan. The messages kept running away, going up quickly, so I missed. Ayi, Sadhu. Cheryl Teo, Sadhu. Thank you Ajahn for your teaching. Terry Shi. Sawadi Ajahn. May you have long. May you be healthy and safe. May you be well and happy from Singapore. Thank you. Corinne Kaur, Sadhu, Sadhu. Adeline Chin. Dear Ajahn, my question today is anger. It's one of the hardest defilements that we can eradicate. Besides chanting Bhutto, Bhutto to calm my mind, is there anything else I can do? Yes, you have to uproot the cause of your anger, which is based on your wanting, your desiring, your craving, or your greed. You want something. When you cannot get what you want, you tend to be angry. So if you don't want anything, then nothing can make you angry. The thing that makes you angry is your disappointment, not getting what you want. So the Buddha said, try to live wanting as little as possible and take things as they come. Don't expect anything, then you will not be disappointed, then you will not get angry. Be content by practicing meditation. When you have jhana, you have equanimity, you have contentment, then you don't care for anything. It doesn't matter what happens. It will not make you angry anymore. So you have to meditate. Before you can meditate, you need to train yourself in mindfulness all the time. Once you have strong mindfulness, continuous mindfulness, then when you meditate, your mind can become calm very easily and quickly, and you can stay in equanimity for a long time. When you come out from meditation, your equanimity will still linger with your mind. So whatever you see or hear, feel or touch, you will just merely see or hear, feel or touch without having any desire for them. Then you will not be angry at anything. Being Sukhi Hotu Ajahn, Sadhu Sadhu. Tony, dear Ajahn, good afternoon. Hope Ajahn doing well. Today my question is, every time I go for dana food offer, my son will accompany me. He also followed me to do dana food offer, but the food is bought for me. He only took the food and put in to the Sangha alms bowl. So my question is, does he have any merit? Because the food is not he personally bought it. He is only 10 years old. Now the merit is yours. What your son is getting is the practice. You show him how to give dana, how to do charity work. So when he grows up and when he have his own money, then he will then can buy things and then give away things. Because when he gives away things, he feels happy, he feels good. So right now you are training him, showing him the lead, the example, so that when he have his own money, he will then want to give, because he knows giving is a good feeling, give him good feeling. So right now you're just training him, teaching him, leading him, so that he knows what's the purpose of giving is. But if you don't teach him, you don't lead him, then he might not know anything about charity or dana. And so he might don't feel like he needs to do any charity or dana. Kwan Patum Napa, Sadhu, Sadhu. Falling soon, Sadhu, Sadhu. Eli Hassan, good day, Tanajan, sound clear, thank you. Audi Aha, Sadhu, Justin T, Sadhu, falling soon. What is the meditation difference between Tibetan and Thailand? I don't know. I don't know anything about Tibetan meditation, so I cannot give you the answer. I think you should study first about both meditation techniques, which you can find in the internet. Search for Tibetan meditation and then search for Thai meditation. Siddhi Kusuma Kusuma Satu, Lotus Satu. Falling soon is the suffering become more because the mind is depend and want control the event happening. Yes, the more you want control or defend, then the suffering can become more. But if you just let things happen and not try to control them, then there will be no suffering. O King Teo, Satu, Punnami. What about my accidents few years back? Upon returning to Singapore, my ex-husband immediately divorced and chased me out of the house, despite my injuries and the head concussion. I am still suffering from the pain due to the accident until today. Doctors say my nerves are badly injured. Well, as far as the body is concerned, sometimes it's just natural for the body to get sick or become painful. This is the nature of the body, not the consequence of your karma. The consequence of your karma is happening in your mind, whether you feel bad about the divorce or not. If you feel good about the divorce, then you're not suffering. If you feel bad, that's because you don't want to get divorced. But if you want divorce and you get divorced, then you can become happy. So it depends on how your mind react to a certain situation. You react with cravings, with denial. It can be painful, it can be mental suffering. If you accept the situation or welcome the situation, then you will not have the suffering, the mental suffering. But the body is the same with everybody. Sooner or later, our body will get sick, become painful, and die. This is the consequence of being born. And the cause of being born are the three cravings. So it all goes back to the three cravings, regardless of whatever happens to the mind or to the body. EOSC, greetings, Ajahn. I feel great joy when I watch Ajahn arms around every Sunday. Good for you. Punami 10, how can my ex-husband of 30 years do this to me? You have to ask him. Albert Paul, Satu, Krishna, Andy, Satu, Krishna, Nui. Good afternoon, Tanaja. Greeting from San Jose, California. This is Aran Nui from San Jose, California. Metini, Satu, Krishna, Andy. What is the cause of avijja? Avijja is the lack of knowledge of the Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics of existence. The lack of Dhamma, the truth of the Dhamma teaching. So when you start studying the Dhamma teaching, you are getting rid of your avijja. But by studying alone is not enough. You have to apply what you study into practice. Then you can get rid of avijja permanently. Albert Paul, Satu. Krishna Dalami, Najami, Vandana Pante, Satu, Chi Chin Chuan. Dear Ajahn, how does metta loving kindness help in my progress in breathing meditation? It doesn't. You don't need to do metta loving kindness when you are doing breathing meditation. You have to focus on your breath alone, not worrying about doing any metta at that time. The only reason why you do metta meditation is when you're angry at someone and you find that you cannot meditate. Then you have to apply metta, namely, you have to forgive that person that makes you angry. Once you can forgive that person, then the anger will disappear. Then you can then concentrate on your breathing meditation. Now I am falling soon. Now I'm learning about how to reduce the suffering by studying about the mind and body processor happening while facing defilement. Can Ajahn tell more? Thank you. You have to understand the nature of the body, that the body is subjected to aging, sickness, and death. And you should not try to resist this truth. You have to accept the truth. Then the suffering in the mind will disappear. If you cannot accept aging, sickness, and death and try to deny, then your mind will have suffering. Kim Bun Chu, Satu, Satu. Tan Siu Hong, Satu, Satu. Gunter Bet, Praya Krut. Thank you. Joanne Lim Chun In, good afternoon, Ajahn. Good afternoon to you. Anilam, Satu. Bun Risa, Mongkon, Namaskaran. When I listen to Dhamma talk, I have tears coming out from my eyes. Is this because I'm suffering or not? Am I sad because of the defilement or not? No, sometimes when you listen, you can have rapture, piti, and you can be tearing, you can seem like crying, but it's a cry of joy. It's not a cry of sadness. Albert Paul, Satu, Satu. Kate Sarah, Satu, Satu. AJ Lu, Satu. Question from Weiji, Malacca, Malaysia. Master, which level of attainment I am at now? Thank you. You have to know it yourself. I cannot tell you which level of attainment you are in. You have to know it yourself. The Buddha said the Dhamma practitioner will know for himself or herself how much they have advanced or progressed. Santitiko, Dhamma is santitiko. You don't need to ask anybody about it. It's like when you're eating, you know how full you are. You don't have to ask me how full you are because I don't know. You have to know it yourself. Same way with your attainment. You have to know it yourself. Unless someone else who have psychic power might be able to know your attainment. Other than that, without psychic power, no one can tell how high attainment you are. And Tiong, Satu, Satu. Bun Risa Mongkon, Namaskaran Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn. You're welcome. Ananda T, Satu, Satu. Jeffrey Scott White, Satu, Satu. Chi Chin Chuan. We always hear Buddhist teaching to let go and not control the situation. Does that also apply to anger? Do we keep it under control or just release the anger? If you can let go of things, you won't get any anger. The reason why you get anger is because you cannot let go of things. You want to control things. And when you cannot control things, then anger arises. So it's not trying to control anger or release the anger. It is try to get rid of the cause of anger, which is your desire or your craving to control things. Once you can let go of things and let things be, then anger cannot arise. So when you're angry, you should trace back and find out what are you craving for, what are you desiring, what do you want. And then once you know you want that thing, then you have to change your mind and let go of that want, that desire. If you want money and you cannot get money, you can get angry. But if you change your mind, say, okay, I don't want that money anymore, then your anger will disappear. So this is the way to get rid of your anger, not to control or not to release, but go and get rid of the cause of anger, which are your cravings, your desire, your wanting. Krishna and the Paramita, the Ajahn, how or what to contemplate when you feel uncomfortable, feel suffer when you wake up in the morning. Just reciting mantra Bhutto Bhutto or do some chanting to calm your mind, to bring your mind back to normality. So just keep reciting Bhutto or do some chanting. Chant until the bad feeling disappear from your mind. Dui Han, good afternoon, Thanajan. I am at Wulai 1 now and I'm very good. Many thanks for your care and kindness. You are welcome. Wuli 1, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly or not. Wuli 1. Velu 1, or something like that. Anyway, glad to hear that. Yeah, glad to hear that you're okay. Alvin Lee, good afternoon, Thanajan. Greeting from KL. Thanks again for your profound Dhamma teaching. Sadhu, sadhu. Pauline soon, is it the defilement and delusion come from mind that make us suffering? Is the defilement and delusion come from the lack of knowledge of the Dhamma, which caused the defilement and delusion to come up? If you have the knowledge of the Dhamma, have the knowledge of the Four Noble Truths, then you can get rid of your suffering. So it's a lack of the knowledge of the Four Noble Truths, not knowing that the cause of your suffering comes from your defilement and delusion. Once you know that your suffering comes from your defilement, then you can stop your defilement. Then the suffering will disappear. Chi Chin Chuan, I have a son that always makes me angry. I cannot let him go as I need to correct his behavior. Because of that, I am always angry at him. How do I solve this problem? The problem is you want to change him. You have to understand his nature and accept that this is the way he is. You can tell him what's wrong with him, but that's all you can do if you don't want to get angry. Your duty or your work Your job is to teach him right and wrong, good and bad. And if he doesn't want to listen to you, then just let it be. He'll suffer. He'll find out for himself sooner or later what's right and wrong himself. So you can teach him, but you cannot control him. So you have to differentiate between the two. You can teach him what's right and wrong, but you cannot tell him to do right or wrong, force him to do right or wrong. Because he can resist and then you can get angry at him. Akash, Ketan, Namaskaran Ajahn. Thank you for giving us this chance to see you. In the last few months, it is almost impossible for me to do sitting meditation without falling asleep. Is it a waste of time to try to sit, and should I only do walking meditation? Well, if you sit and you go to sleep, then you have to do walking meditation instead. But you have to do a lot. Do until you feel tired, and then maybe you then can sit and meditate. If you still find that you're sleepy, then you have to eat less. The problem of being sleepy is eating too much. So you might have to reduce the amount of food you take. Instead of taking 3 meals, just take only 2 and before midday. Then this might help cut down your sleepiness. But if you sit and you are still sleepy, then you have to get up. Another way is to look for a scary place to meditate. Because when you're in a scary place, you tend not to be sleepy. Jeffrey Scott White, I wish Vladimir Putin had your love, kindness, and wisdom. Unfortunately, I think he had avijja or ignorance of the knowledge of the Four Noble Truths. He himself is suffering. Doing this thing is not good for anybody. Killing people is not good. It's hurting him inside. But he cannot stop his own defilement. Get Yen So, dear Thanajan, greeting from Penang. Greeting to you. Catherine Poor, Satu Satu, Anumodami. Falling soon. When after certain period time practicing the level meditation because undeveloped, can Ajahn explain? Because you are not developing enough mindfulness. Your meditation's success depends on the amount of mindfulness you have developed. The more continuous mindfulness you have, the more developed will your meditation be. Aranut Nui, I used to have an idea to practice full time, but no one agreed with my idea. Most people told me to focus on earning money and practicing Dhamma in the free time. In the past, how did you know that you were ready to ordain? Because after I have practiced for 1 whole year, full time, I find that it's very satisfactory, very happy with my practice. So I wanted to continue, and the way to be able to practice full time without having any things else to do is to become a monk. So I decided to become a monk and continue on with my practice to keep me happy all the time. You should not listen to other people what they say because they don't know the way of the Dhamma. I think you know more than them. So don't let the blind tell you. Listen to the unblind, which are the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. They all point the way to practice full time. So if you want to be happy all the time, then you have to practice full time. Hong Bi Chin, viewing Thank you, Mom from Kelantan, Malaysia. Understanding about cause and condition, cause and effect, nature, let it be, let it go will help to solve our suffering. Yes. Punamitan Pante, how to move on from my suffering by getting rid of your wanting, your desire, your cravings. Just take things as they come. Don't want anything. Don't want things to be like this or like that. Don't want people to be like this or like that. Just leave everything alone. Then there will be no suffering on your part. And Tiong. I have friends who go to cemetery to meditate. They encourage me to join them. Does meditating in cemetery benefit us? Yes, because in a cemetery it's quiet and also it's scary. So you have to be very mindful when you go there. Because if not, then your mind can be afflicted with lots of fear. So when you have fear, you have to start reciting the mantra Buddha or keep chanting to keep the fear away from your mind. So this is a good practice. The Buddha recommend go to a cemetery or go into the forest where it is quiet and scary. So it will force you to become more mindful. Trendy Wu, good afternoon, Ajahn. My question for Ajahn today is, since everything is emptiness, how does one explain the 31 planes of existence? The reason the word emptiness here means they have no value or no meaning. We create meanings and values in things, when in fact they are just empty of value. They don't have any significance in themselves. They are like the rain, the sun, the moon, so forth. They don't have any meaning, any value to us. But since we are deluded, we give them value and meaning, and then we cling to those value and meaning and get suffering from that. Tulupan, Namaste, Ajahn. Thanks so much for your wonderful teaching. My friend has one question that her parents are too possessive and overprotective, though she is not teenage anymore. So it's hard to move sometimes and hard to meditate. So how can she come out of it? Thanks so much, Ajahn. She needs the courage to be able to stand on her own, to live on her own. If she has the courage and she thinks that she can live on her own, then she can move out of the family. Moving out doesn't mean that one doesn't love our parents or have no compassion for them. We still look after them, we still care for them, but we want to do it in a distant way, not in the same household. So she needs to be able to support herself, and she needs the courage to be able to live alone. Terence T.H. Lee, Hi Ajahn. Hi Ajahn, must walking meditation be done at a very slow pace? Where should we best focus our mind for walking meditation? Chant Buddha, watch our breath, or watch our step. Thanks. When you do walking meditation, you walk normally, as you would normally walk, and then you concentrate on either on your steps or on your mantra. Don't use the breath because the breath is hard to watch when you're walking. It's easier to watch your steps or reciting the mantra Bhutto Bhutto. Pramsa, Namaskaran, Ajahn, Amanda Mandy Smith. Thank you, Ajahn Suchart. You're welcome, Mandy. I hope you're well now. Veerapan Suvarna, my Namaskaran, Ajahn. Krap, see you tonight. Yes, we'll see you tonight in Q&A in the Thai language at 8 p.m. Thailand time. Any one of you who can understand Thai can join us at 8 o'clock Thailand time tonight with Dr. Veerapan. If I feel happy and enjoying the Dhamma, is it considered as having developed my mind? Yes. If you can enjoy the Dhamma, then it means your mind has developed, because you need to have mindfulness to enjoy the Dhamma. Krishna Andy Paramita, thank you, Ajahn. You're welcome. Okay, I'll take a break, take a drink. Walai Pon Virun, Grab Namaskaranท่านอาจารย์ from Bangkok. Aranut Nui, thank you Ajahn so much for your teaching. You're welcome. We still have plenty of time, so you can keep sending in your question one at a time. Kwan Lee Man, dear Prajan, with respect, when the knowing element is developed through equanimity, the knowing element will eventually able to separate the mind from the body, and the suffering cease. Is that how the knowing element works, Satu? The knowing element always remain knowing, regardless of whether it has equanimity or not. If it has no equanimity, it will keep creating suffering through sankhara and sanya. But if it has equanimity, it will stop creating cravings and desire, and the result, brings suffering. So this is how it works. You need mindfulness to stop the sankhara and sanya from creating suffering, to keep the mind in equanimity. That's why you need to develop lots of mindfulness to be able to stop your sankhara and sanya from creating suffering. How does the mind do when facing fear? When you have fear, the first easy method is to keep reciting a mantra. Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Don't let your mind think of the object that caused you fear. Just keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto. Eventually, you will forget about the object that caused the fear. Once that happens, the fear will disappear from your mind. The second method is to use wisdom, is to accept that your life is impermanent, that sooner or later it will cease to exist. So if this should be the time, then you will have to accept it. If you can accept the cessation of life, then your fear will disappear from your mind. By seeing with wisdom that life is impermanent, life is a natural process, doesn't belong to anybody or anyone. Krishna and the Paramita, is sati same with vitaka? No, no. Sati is mindful. Being mindful or watchful is sati. While vitaka is thinking. Vitaka, vichara, these are still thinking thoughts. While sati is just watching the thought, watching vitaka. Tulupan Ajahn, when we feel any feeling in the body, if we see any movement or change, is the anicca, is that so, Ajahn? When you see changes, that is anicca. Anicca means changes, nothing remains the same, even for 1 second, really. Everything is in a constant state of change. But some of them are so subtle that we cannot see it. Like our body is constantly changing, constantly aging all the time. Every second we age 1 second. We age 1 second. Every second we age. We keep aging. But we cannot see the change until 5 years from now. When you look at the picture of today and 5 years from now, then you can see the difference. You can see the change very clearly. But they have to come from this every second change. What is the different meaning for the mind to keep on knowing and aware? There's no difference with knowing and aware. It's the same thing, to be aware or to know. Lim Thi Wui, good afternoon, Ajahn. Thank you for your teaching on using sati to control sanya and sankhara. Sadhu, sadhu. You're welcome. When you have sati, you can stop sanya and sankhara. Then you can also stop the dukkha from arising. Then you have equanimity. You can stop cravings and desire with sati. But sati only do this temporarily, can control sanya and sankhara temporarily. If you need to control sanya and sankhara permanently, you have to use the 3 characteristics of existence and the 4 noble truths to teach the mind why you should not use sanya and sankhara to create suffering for yourself. We use sanya and sankhara to create suffering for ourselves because we thought that by getting what we desire will give us happiness. But we don't see the impermanent nature of things that we get. That sooner or later we will lose what we have or what we get. Then we want something new. We want to reacquire. And when we cannot do it, we can get suffering. Sini Jira, dear Tanajan, if we die when we do not get Sotapanna, yet but we do routine donation, keep the 5 and 8 precepts and meditation, do this characteristics come with our mind, or we have to create them again for next life. It depends on how much you have done it. The more you have done, then the more you will carry it with you. The less you have done, then the less you will carry it with you. They become a habit. See? The more you do it, the stronger the habit will be. The less you do it, then the less strong the habit will be. So keep doing a lot of it until it becomes a habit, hard to give up. Then when in your next life, then you'll continue to practice dana, sila, and meditation. To Lupan, Ajahn, how can we see dukkha and anatta in any feelings in the body? You see dukkha, you see anatta in feelings, but you don't see dukkha in feelings. Anatta means it's a natural phenomenon. It's like the rain and the sun, something that happens due to cause. You cannot force it to get rid of it. You just have to learn to live with it. The reason you get dukkha is because you don't want to live with bad feelings. You only want good feelings. So when you have bad feeling, you have dukkha because you want to get rid of the bad feelings. But the bad feeling is anatta, something that you cannot force it to go away. But if you learn to accept the bad feelings as part of your life, when it appears, it will not cause you any dukkha. So it's a matter of acceptance or denial on the feelings. You should learn to teach your mind to accept all types of feelings, not just choose the good feelings and want to get rid of the bad feelings. That's because if you want to get rid of the bad feelings, you will get dukkha in your mind because you cannot control anything that is anatta, that anything that is a natural phenomena. Pramsa, during take 8 precept on normal working day, can I use hair dryer to set and dress my hair, but I'm not use cosmetic today. Not use cosmetic, only take baby powder. So to make sure that I have followed the standard of workplace grooming. Well, normally when you work, you don't have to keep the 8 precepts. But if you want to keep the 8 precepts, then you might not be able to fulfill all of the requirements, such as the dressing up of your body. But it's better that it's good that you can keep the 8 precept without full compliance. It's still better than keeping the 5 precepts. So just keep as much as you can on the 8 precepts. Some of them, if it's a necessity for you to dress up to go to work, then you just do it. Don't worry about it. But keep the other precepts if you can, like not eating after midday, not watching entertainment, and not sleeping with anybody. Chi Chin Chuan, dear Ajahn, is it useful to use beads or counter to keep track of our chanting? Not really. It's better not to use anything external. Mindfulness alone is good enough. You can count mindfulness if you like. Bhutto 1, Bhutto 2, Bhutto 3, and so forth, without using any external things, because when you use external things, you have to use the body to do it. And by putting the body in action will make it hard for the mind to become still, because the mind has to control the body, to tell the body what to do. So don't do anything external, nothing physical when you meditate. You want to keep the body still in order to help make the mind become still also. If the body is not still, you cannot still the mind. Falling soon, the body is not belong to us, so should we take care it properly. Yes, you should look after the body, maintain it like you maintain a car. If you have to drive a car to take you to work, then you have to maintain your car. Same way with the body. If you want to practice Dhamma, you have to have a healthy body so you can take care of your body without having attachment. Do it as a duty. Do it as a necessity, not because you want it to last forever. You know that sooner or later your body will have to die. So you don't want to be attached to it permanently. You use it for the purpose of practicing the teaching of the Buddha to take you to Nibbana. Ali Hassan, thanks Tanajan for today's teaching. We keep on practicing as being taught. Sadhu, you're welcome. Yuringo, Sadhu. Falling soon, keep practice until free from suffering. Yes, keep practicing until there's no suffering left. Then you don't need the body anymore, and you don't need to practice anymore. And when the body and anything should happen to the body, then it will not bother you, will not cause you any suffering. Good afternoon from Chinese character. Dear Ajahn, I need your help. Which level of attainment? Which level of attainment I am now? I cannot tell you because I don't have any psychic power. I'm sorry. You have to know it yourself. By studying the teaching of the Buddha, the 4 level of attainment is the practice of the 10 samyojana, or the 10 fetters. If you study the 10 fetters, you'll find out which level of attainment you have. Terence T. H. Lee, hi Tanajan, I go for regular brisk walking exercise in which the pace tends to be faster than normal walking speed. Can use this session to practice my mindfulness by watching the step. Yes, it doesn't. No matter what your body is doing, you can practice mindfulness by constantly watching what your body is doing. So this is mindfulness of body movement, or we call it clear comprehension in the Satipatthana Sutta. Have clear comprehension with your body movement. Mini te benna, Sadhu, Sadhu, Tanajan. Chuk boy lo, Sadhu, Sadhu. Falling soon, my life now. Keep the 5 precepts, meditate, be mindful, to practice reducing the defilement and delusion. Is it fine enough as layperson without aiming of liberation, achieving an Ajahn Kai? It's up to you how much you want to practice. It's like working for money. It's up to you how much you want to work for money. The more money you want, then the harder you have to work. Same way with the practice of Dhamma. If you want more Dhamma, then the more you have to practice. No one can decide for you. You have to decide for yourself how much you want Dhamma, how much you want to get rid of the suffering. Patty Promsuwong, thank you Tanajan for your teaching. You're welcome. How beneficial is Dana? Can Ajahn tell? Dana, it's like keep putting money in the bank, so that in your next life, when you were born as human being, you will have plenty of money waiting for you. Okay, we have about 4 more minutes left. So if you still typing your question, you can continue on typing and send it in. If you haven't started typing, then maybe it's better not to do so, because I probably won't have time to answer your question. You have to wait until the next meeting, which will be next Sunday, 7 days from now. Bayo, Namaskaran, Sadhu, holding soon. How beneficial is Dana? Okay, I answered this question. I'm sorry. I thought. Lim Ti Wui, Sadhu, Sadhu. Okay. Kenneth Tan Keyboard. Sadhu, Sadhu. Tony, Sadhu. Okay, it looks like we don't have any more questions coming in. So I think it's good time for me to bring this meeting to an end. Okay, one more question from Krishna Andy. Can Ajahn tell about Paticcasamuppada? This is the process how the mind works. Avijja with avijja directing. When avijja direct the mind, it will tell the mind to create sankhara and then create vijnana to connect to the sensual organs, so that the sensual organ then can connect to the sensual objects. When that happens, there will be contact, and with contact there comes feelings. With feelings come desire or cravings. With cravings come attachment. With attachment comes being. With being comes rebirth. So this is the process of Paticcasamuppada. Adeline Chin, thank you for your teaching today. Andy Lam, Sadhu, Sadhu. Christine Lim, thank you today's teaching. Sadhu from David Silananda. Krishna Andy Paramita, Sadhu, Sadhu. Terence T.H. Lee, Sadhu, Tony, Sadhu. Corinne Kaur, thank you for the teaching, Ajahn. Okay, thank you very much for your participation in this meeting today. I hope that you can benefit from it somewhat and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing the Dhamma, teaching of the Buddha, so that one day you will become enlightened. In the meantime, if all goes well, I'll see you again next week at around the same time. Thank you and goodbye.